My beloved, dear brothers and sisters, I ask Allah Azza wa Jal to protect you from any harm. Ameen, Ya Allah. I felt like the last episode should be about common mistakes done in the Salat. We have noticed that many people, they do these mistakes and they do not recognize that they're making a mistake. So inshallah ta'ala, we want to bring it up so we can all try to cut down on this mistake and eliminate these mistakes inshallah ta'ala, so we can have a beautiful salat, hopefully accepted by Allah Azza wa Jal. Let's start from the beginning. Many people, and I've noticed it with the young brothers, they wear their pants and they have a short top. They have a short t-shirt or a short shirt, and when they go down to sujood, their awrah in the back shows. That is not allowed. That is not allowed. And sometimes the real awrah shows. So you have to be very careful, my brother. And if that is the situation, make sure you have a longer garment or you have something under the shirt that is tucked in, so your awrah from the back will not show while you are in sujood. Now, when we are starting the salat, we also have few common mistakes in the beginning of the salat. As you will see now, Brother Samir, may Allah reward him, he will be demonstrating some of the wrong ways and then he will be correcting them. The first common mistake is people uttering the niyyah. نويت أن أصلي 4 ركعات صلاة الظهر حاضرا No. The niyyah is very important in the salat. Uttering the niyyah, we never heard from Rasulullah ﷺ that he uttered the niyyah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows that I am coming right now to the masjid to pray fajr. I am coming to pray dhuhr. Or I am at home praying this. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows. I do not say nawaitu an do this, nawaitu an do that. Well, if I'm sitting on a table and I'm about to eat, do I say nawaitu an akul, nawaitu an to eat biryani, nawaitu an ashrab soda? We don't say that. Right? This is in the heart. The intention is in the heart. Don't get me wrong. The intention is important, but it's in the heart. The uttering is what we are talking about. Let's watch the wrong way and the right way.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. نويت أن أصلي 4 ركعات. الله أكبر.
Also, many people, when they say they start the salat, they go like this, as you see in the demonstration. They do not move their lips with the takbir. This is takbirat al-ihram. This is one of the arkan, one of the pillars of salat. Allahu Akbar. You're supposed to say it. You see people come without saying Allahu Akbar. And some also, when they say Allahu Akbar, they raise their hands and they look, and they raise their head and they look at the sky, as Brother Samir demonstrated. So these are not the proper way to start the salat. Rasulullah ﷺ told us that the salat starts with takbirat al-ihram, and you did not say takbirat al-ihram, so you did not even start the salat. Takbirat al-ihram is the starting of the salat, right? And Rasulullah ﷺ said it starts with takbirat al-ihram and ends with taslim. Now we said Allahu Akbar, and now watch this clip about the position of the hands. Now you see some of the people, they go to this extreme and they put the hands on the elbows. This, in case there is really big crowd in the masjid and you have to do that, that's okay. But the proper way, like Rasulullah ﷺ said, al-yumna ala al-yusra ala al-sadr, the right hand on the left hand on the chest area. This is the proper way, as you have seen Brother Samir demonstrate. Another common mistake is a lot of movement in the salat. You see the person who is praying, well, he's checking his watch, he's fixing his kufi, he is looking left, looking right, a lot of movement, itching here. That is not good. That it even could reach if it was done too much, it will ruin the salat completely. You are in the presence of Allah Azza wa Jal. Try to cut down on the movement and only move when it is really, really needed. Do not keep moving just for the sake of movement, or you cannot control yourself. Another mistake now, when we come to the ruku', we will demonstrate the ruku' right there, inshallah ta'ala. You can see it.
سمع الله لمن حمده ربنا ولك الحمد والشكر. سمع الله لمن حمده ربنا ولك الحمد حمدا كثيرا طيبا مباركا فيه.
A very common mistake in the ruku' is when somebody gets up and say ربنا لك الحمد والشكر. This والشكر is not in from the sunnah. The sunnah is like we explained in the episode of ruku' ربنا لك الحمد حمدا كثيرا طيبا مباركا فيه. That is beautiful. But when we add something from our mind, that's not good. Somebody might say, Ya Sheikh, don't complicate things. What's the big deal if I say wa shukr? I am grateful to Allah. Ya Habibi, there's a very beautiful formula. If there's any khair in something, Rasulullah would have done it, or the companions would have done it. So if there's any khair, anything good in something, they would have done it. So let's not invent something new in the deen. Stick to the way that Rasulullah prayed, and when he said, "Sallu kama ra'aytumuni usalli," pray like you saw me pray. Now we go down to the sujood. And in the sujood, where we said you are the closest to Allah Azza wa Jal, and this is a position that we all look forward to when we are making salat. In the sujood, as you see in the demonstration. So now we are demonstrating the proper sujood. As we have said before in the halaqah of sujood, that Rasulullah told us, as-sujood ala sab'a. Sujood is performed upon 7 parts of the body. 2 feet, 2 knees, that's 4. The face, that's 5, and the 2 hands are 7. Now as you see, the feet are touching each other, and when you are praying alone, you could open your arms like this. This is a sunnah to open your arms, and if you are praying in jama'ah, then you could close them. Make sure the nose is touching. Make sure the nose is touching. Now, one of the very common mistakes in sujood is when the person making sujood, he put the arms flat, completely flat on the ground. Rasulullah told us not to pray. This is the position of how the dog sits, and he prevented us from, or he told us not to do such a position. So the elbows have to be above the ground. And the other mistake many, especially the youth, they do is that the feet are above the ground. Now you're missing 2 parts from the 7. So the feet has to be touching the ground, and the toes pointing towards the qibla, and the heels are touching each other. How do you know that the heels should be touching each other in this position, the feet touching each other? Aisha radiallahu anha, she said, my hand fell while Rasulullah was making sujood, and the hand touched both feet. How can a small hand touch both feet if they're not both of them touching each other? So that's where we got that touching of the feet in the back. The sujood is on 7 parts, right? And we have to make sure that all the 7 parts are on the ground. The 2 hands, the 2 feet, the 2 knees, and the face, including the nose. And when I settle, I start saying my Subhana Rabbiyal A'la. When I settle down there, I don't say it like this example now when Brother Samir is saying it as we are going down. Some people do that, believe it or not. They start saying Subhana Rabbiyal A'la right after they say Allahu Akbar, after Rabbana Lakal Hamd. And that's why you see them going very quick in the sujood. Why are you rushing, my brother? Why are you rushing, my sister? This is the position where you're the closest to Allah Azza wa Jal. Enjoy it, take your time, right? When you get there and your hands are rested on the ground, and your nose and your face on the ground, then you start Subhana Rabbiyal A'la, Subhana Rabbiyal A'la. A very common mistake especially among the youth, is that they lift the feet up while they are making sujood. They lift the feet up, and that I'm missing 2 parts from the 7. Rasulullah said the sujood on 7. Now 2 parts are up. Subhanallah. So my sujood is missing. My sujood is short. So make sure the feet are also touching the ground, and the toes are pointing towards the qibla. A very common mistake in sujood, as you have seen, is that the people sit down and the elbows are touching the ground. The hands and the arms are flat on the ground. This is not the right way. Rasulullah told us not to imitate the dog. It has to be up, as you've seen demonstrated in the video. By the way, the salat of the female and the salat of the male are identical. Whomsoever tell you that there's a difference, tell them, show me the evidence. There's no difference between the salat of a man or the salat of a woman. And there are so many other small mistakes, but these are the major ones. And the last one is, after, like we mentioned in our one of the episodes, the 3 salam guys, as you see Brother Samir demonstrating.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. 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 Assalamu alaikum.
That the salam, first of all, the salam is supposed to be all the way. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, they used to see this part when he's making salam. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. This side is showing. And when we finish the salam, don't be from the 3 salam guys. Sit down, make istighfar. Allahumma anta salam wa minka salam tabarakta ya dal jalali wal ikram, and mention all the adhkar after the salat. This is a very short talk today, but please, my brothers and sisters, at the end of this series, I want to thank Allah first for giving me the ability to be able to talk to you. I want to thank Allah Azza wa Jal to make it that He made it very successful. All the tawfiq, wallahi, it has nothing to do with me. The tawfiq is only from Allah Azza wa Jal, and I'm so grateful to Him. And please, if you felt like your salat has improved by this, number 1, you thank Allah Azza wa Jal. You thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He guided you to watch this. And then after that, you start sending this video to others so others could benefit, insha'Allah ta'ala. We beg Allah Azza wa Jal to accept from us the little that we do. We beg Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make our ibadat pleasing to Him. And we beg Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make our last deeds our best deeds, insha'Allah ta'ala. I ask Allah with the best of His names to gather us, just like He gathered us every day in Ramadan, even though it's on virtual. I ask Him to gather us on the Day of Judgment, looking at each other and sitting with each other in the highest place in Jannah, in the Firdaus al-A'la, insha'Allah ta'ala, ameen. Allah is ala kulli shay'in qadir. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to increase us in Iman. And I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us from the people who are always looking for how to come close to Him. And trying to perfect all kinds of ibadat. Ameen ya Rabbil Alameen. Take advantage of it. Make dua for yourself, dua for your parents, dua for your community, and dua for the ummah at large. I love you all for the sake of Allah, and may Allah gather us with this love under His shade when there is no shade except His shade. Ameen ya Rabbil Alameen.